Guys, welcome back. Here's our first lesson for this year. So we're going to start off by filling in our information up here. So my name is, excuse me, Mrs. Wilson. Today's date is 8/23/2021, and you need to fill out all of this information. And the topic here, this is 1-1, the real number system. And then this is going to be, we'll say this is class 8A for right now. It could be 8B that you're watching, and that's okay. And then you would put your student number. All right, here we go. Let's fill this stuff out. Real numbers, you're going to write an R to represent real numbers. And that's going to be all numbers. All numbers that it is, okay? And then we break it out. And we're going to have the I represent irrational numbers. The thing is, irrational numbers are decimals that never end and have no repeating pattern. Think mumbo jumbo numbers. They're the ugly decimals. Okay, so these examples would be like pi. If you punch in the calculator the square root of 2, you can get an ugly decimal long number. Or like negative square root 101. These are just examples of what they might be. And this is standing for, if you don't want to write the I, you could abbreviate by writing IRRAT. This could be another abbreviation that you would use, okay? When you're looking at the answer key, it's going to just say I. So I'm going to give you letters that are going to represent the answer key, but you could always write other things. Okay, so for rational numbers, notice the word ratio inside. So therefore, this is all fractions or decimals that end. Okay, so it can be written as some number over another number, like a ratio. Okay, or it has a repeated pattern. Okay, like 2/3 is 0.3 repeating. Now, for rational number, they use the letter Q, but if you would like to just write RAT, that's what I write when I'm working the problems, okay, for rational numbers. And examples for that would be 1/3, because that's the same as 0.3 repeating. You could have negative 0.67 with the bar over the, I'm sorry, there's no bar over that. 0.67 because it ends, it stops there. So it can be written as 67 over 100, comma, the square root of 16. And the reason that it's the square root of 16 is you always simplify. This is where we're going to write our, add a little note here. You need to simplify first. Classify second. Okay, you simplify first, then you classify. So for here, the square root of 16 is equal to 4, which can be written as 4 over 1. So therefore, it is a rational number. Okay. Next number type is integer. Now here it gets a little weird again. It's a Z for integer. Now if you want to write INT for integer, that's fine. Okay, and examples of that would be ... -2, comma, -1, comma, 0, comma, 1, comma, 2. It is only the positive or negative whole values. So we're going to add a little note here. This is positive or negative whole values. No fractions or decimals. Just see this a little bit better. That might be better. Sorry if it's been difficult. Okay. Next one. Whole numbers. Now we get back to making something seem kind of realistic here. We're going to use a W for whole numbers. And those are 0, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So in words, that means it's positive whole values, including 0. Okay, last one, natural numbers. That's n, and that's going to be like 1, 2, 3, ... Little notes about that. This is also referred to as counting numbers. It's the positive numbers, but there is no 0. All right, now let's work a couple of problems here. And the big thing to remember when you're working this, it says name all sets. Okay, that means all of them should have real written. Okay, all right. So if I'm looking at the number 30, well, 30 is going to be in natural because it goes up to 30. So I can write N. It's going to be a whole number, so I can write W. It's going to be inside integers because it's a positive whole value. So therefore, it's going to be integers, and that's inside of rational, which is then inside of real. You have to make sure that you list all of the names. All right, let's look at another example real quick. Let's look at pi. Well, we obviously use that as an example up here, so we know that it's going to be, when I write the names, it is irrational. It's supposed to have 2 R's, Miss Wilson. Irrational and real. So we have to write both names. Okay, now let's look at number 10. I'm like, remember, simplify first, classify second. I have to do some work here first. What is the square root of 144? That is 12 over 3. What's 12 divided? Oh, negative 3. Don't forget those negatives. 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. This is the number that we are classifying. So negative 4, it can't be in natural and it can't be in whole. So it's going to be integer, rational, and real. All right, and now we're looking at number 12. Well, if I'm looking at this, that's the same thing on top of the same thing. If it were 5 over 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1. It's the same thing. Square root of 17 over the square root of 17 is equal to 1. Since it's the number 1, then it is in all of my categories. So I'm going to have natural, whole, integer, rational, and real. Your assignment is to finish the let's do this. You can just ask the teacher. I will give you directions in class of exactly which problems to do. You'll have a great day. Bye.